Hello and welcome to How I Got Into Pro Wrestling Part 7. Yeah, it's Part 7. I already did the Part 6, and this is Part 7. And the first image that you may have seen was when I started wrestling, I wanted to wear a wrestling mask, but I never got the chance to make it, so I never ended up using it. But now, if you've seen my new pictures and if you've seen my wrestling matches, I wear face paint now, and you may see a little bit of similarity with the design for that I wanted to use for the mask and the face paint that that I do. So anyway, let's go to part 7. So in the last video, I talk about how I got the title, how I wrestled for about a year before. I ended up backing down for a little bit, and then when I came back in 2000, I ended up breaking my foot. So I was in graduate school. I was going for a master's in environmental engineering at the University of Puerto Rico, Mayagüez, and my notes fell down because of the injury. It means classes to go to a doctor's appointment on my left ankle, and I ended up piling some medical bills, and I had to begin taking student loans, which pretty much became a burden and have been a burden, and now are a big burden on me lately. Just to finish, um, so that summer I was out of wrestling, and I was recovering. I was doing physical therapy, and I finally got the chance. I decided that I wanted to stop doing the master's degree because I there were some issues in the school, not having an advisor and all that kind of stuff, and instead find a job. So I was applying for jobs, and ended up applying to a job at the EPA in Philadelphia, and so I got an offer from the EPA in Philadelphia around September of 2000, and I decided to take it. So I moved to the Philadelphia, South New Jersey area in 2000, in October 2000. Before I moved there, I was into wrestling so much that I decided to buy some books. And some people may have seen this book, and don't judge me, but I mean, I just found it interesting that this book even existed. Yeah, that's what you're seeing is real. It was written by Percy Pringle the Third, which is known as Paul Bearer in WWE. So this is a little bit of collector's items that I have kept with me because. And of course, I also have this one of Larry Sharp and King Kong Bundy hitting the mat. Um, and it's funny because when I moved to and that's why even saying you can see my own name in there, so please don't say my own name. It's that name, but yeah, it's autographed by King Kong Bundy and Larry Sharp, and you can see their signature in there. And came with a picture. It was quite amazing. Um, so it's interesting because when I moved to South New Jersey, I didn't know what was going to happen. So the bug of wrestling hit me again when I moved to South Jersey, Philadelphia. I ended up finding a wrestling school in Philadelphia called Soul City Wrestling, which I don't even know if they exist or not. I did a student show. They invited me to do that. And during the show, I met the owner of the school, and he tried to get me enrolled in the school. But I was still kind of recovering from my ankle injury, so I didn't feel comfortable getting to wrestling too soon. So I moved to from Philadelphia because I was living with a friend for about a month. Finally, in November 2000, I moved to South Jersey to the area of Collingswood. I rented an apartment there, and I was living there, and I began buying some videos, the UPW videos that John Cena used to be in it. Chris, um, forgot his name, the Fallen Angel, uh, and Samoa Joe, and so around March, the bug of wrestling started hitting me. So I decided to look around, and I ended up finding the Monster Factory. The Monster Factory. They went to a Monster Factory. You can see my own name in there. This was for the tryout, which consisted of me doing some bumps and getting a little bit of feedback whether I had the ability or not. And the bumps were very different too, because in Puerto Rico they kind of like told me to slap. In there they wanted me to just put my hands like this and then bump, which made it a little bit difficult, but I did it. I was able to do it. And then this is how much I paid back then, and this is it was in 2001, and you can see like March, and I paid the whole school. And what I enjoyed about the school was that, considering the style that I was in Puerto Rico, which has a bunch of like punch and kick, um, the style was different. So I learned more, and that was the time that Larry had the school in a strip mall. There were two rings stuck to the floor. They were hard as hell to bump in them, and I was working along with Jim Molyneux, and the trainer. His name was Ed, and I don't remember his last name, but his name was Ed. I met John Tolan, who later made it to WWE as the Dicks, and Robert Pigeon back then. And next episode will tell you more about the school and what I learned there, because it was instrumental in my wrestling career.